GM.
GM.
How's everybody doing? Hey, Roxy, how are you?
Great. How are you this morning, FaZe?
I'm good. Um, yeah, so let's get into it. Let's do a little recap of the active proposals, and then I think we're gonna have Flame and Zygo on to talk about their updates. Or yeah. So, um, up first we got the tipping for Aavegotchi community apps, which is it's doing. Oh, it's already past quorum actually.
Yep.
90% in favor. Yep, looking good. Agate 127, increasing XP awards to 250 XP for successful core agates by Phantasma and Dr. Wagme. Almost at quorum. We're 8.8 out of 9 million, with mostly in favor as well, so that's looking good. See if I'm going in the right order here. Agate 128, replacement DAO director election by Light Piglet. We're a little past, halfway past quorum. There is, ends in a week. Yeah, so we're at 63.74% quorum, and there's still a week left to vote on that. And then the Octave onboarding to track Aavegotchi DAO treasury by the Octave team, which is currently at 55% quorum and also ends in a week. So let me check the chat real quick. You guys, yep, you guys got all the links for that? Cool. Make sure to get your votes in if you haven't. The Unity Defense of Aave by Flame ends in 6 hours, and it's at 86% quorum. So you might want to get to that first. I think that's the yeah, that ends the soonest. If Flame is in the audience, Flame, are you there? You want to raise your hand so we could get you up here? And Zygo as well. Those are our areas. GM, sir.
Welcome, Flame.
Can you guys hear him?
I can't hear him. Flame.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, you have like 2 proposals today, and I believe 1 forum post. Maybe we can like talk a little bit about each of those. He says 1 second, so he's getting ready right now.
nice. And see if Zygo is in the house.
Yep, Zygo can come on eventually. He'll just have maybe a 5-minute slot about an update to his game. So, yeah.
Flame.
Threx posted
If you're having
something
mic
in
issues,
chat. Oh, that's cool. Mafia's having a poker game in 2 weeks. I love to see the guilds doing stuff.
Yeah, we miss those. I used to play every week.
Okay, Flame says he can't get the microphone working.
Uh-oh.
Oh no. Yeah, Flame, you should
Try
leave.
disconnecting and
Yeah,
reconnecting for sure.
and then come back.
How about now?
Ah, yes, we can hear
Nice.
you
Yeah,
now.
you good.
Yeah, fine. So what shall we start with? The shielded voting or the defensive Ave?
We could start with, let's see. Let's start with defensive Ave, and then we'll move to the shielded voting.
Okay, the defensive Ave is gonna take about 15 minutes. It's gonna take longer than the shielded voting.
All right, no problem.
All right. Yes. So I'm gonna post some videos for those who can't see the live stream. And for those who want to listen to the videos, you can also mute me. From the left side, you can right click and there's an option to mute while you're watching the videos. And all right, let me try the sharing my screen. Yeah, that'd be great. No, futuristic.
Just really quickly, is your live stream that you're going to share have audio, or are you going to drop videos with audio? Oh, okay, I see the video. So just direct me which videos you want me to play and in which order, and then I'll show it on the live stream or play the audio in here.
Yeah, I'm getting the same thing. Musashi says it's just loading. I think it's the same thing that happened last time. Gotta love these Discord technical difficulties. Like, we actually tested this out before our last call and it worked just fine. And then we go live and suddenly it doesn't load.
I'm going to test the video. Tell me if you hear it.
Uh, Yep, I can hear it.
And I'm playing the video during my recording as well, so it'll show up after the call too.
Right, so what you're listening to is a new feature my programmer added, which is the sound gallery. The sound gallery allows you to customize your sound effects in music. What you're listening to right now was the Aavegotchi sound effects. Now, normally, for those of you who watched Aavegotchi, you might recognize that sound effect with the Japanese sumo guy.
Yep, familiar to me.
Now, the advantage with this is that for a commercial release on Steam, I won't be able to add this sound effects on the official version. So instead, the user is going to have to add them. And I made it especially so the user has an easy time adding the sound effects. Even somebody who never ever created a mod or a sound pack will be able to add a sound package. Right now, you can only add MP3. My programmer said he could have added WAV, but something weird happened. If you converted the MP3 to WAV, it worked. If you try to add WAV without converting it, it refused to work in Unity, despite Unity saying that it also supports WAV. So instead, I only used MP3. Any questions about this? Right, so I made the sound gallery with visuals and with a few buttons to test out the audio.
So, will there be music or will that just have to be added manually as well?
There will be some stock music and sound effects, but if, for example, you want to add something like Michael Jackson, you're gonna have to add that manually. Like, for example, right now I can't play Michael Jackson without getting the YouTube video copyright struck. Okay, 1 second of futuristic.
Yeah, I can see no future. I can see your screen share on my end. It looks like there are some other gameplay features that you didn't have before in the alpha testing version that you released a little bit ago, like the colorful round explosions and stuff.
I released those. No, I didn't release them for the first prototype. The first
Right.
prototype is very bare bones, right?
Yeah, but now there's like a lot more fancy
I
stuff you can do in the game, it seems.
Yeah, I think I presented that about 3 weeks ago. No, I think last month about that. Yeah, I added the tower defense, the final boss, the colored enemies. Oh, and some night levels. Every 5 levels, you get a nighttime.
Oh, what's that thing that's flying around that
Finally.
looks like it has like wings?
Oh, that is the final boss. I decided to tell my programmer just add the golden snitch as stock graphics. I wanted a very tiny final boss in order to be harder to hit him.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Because like the really big one is easy. It might have been like really tanky, but it was very easy to hit. So yeah.
Yeah. I'm thinking of adding a second final boss who's gonna be huge and is gonna spawn liquidators. So you're gonna have to rely on your citizen gotchis and die warriors. Talking about the melee and the ranged gotchis that help you. Oh, and I almost forgot. I actually got some concept art to show. I don't think everyone's seen it before.
Oh yeah, this was in your thread before. But yeah. Did you make this concept art or did you outsource it?
No, I hired somebody. Really talented guy. Yeah, and I asked of him to separate the body parts so I can mix and match them. Fountain pen, huh?
So you're gonna be
That's
modeling each body part to like move differently?
I was intending to hire an animator that's gonna hand draw it, but I need to see how much budget I'll have. I wanted initially 24 frames of hand drawn animation per loop, without any rigging. Rigging only works if your animator knows how to use it.
Okay, where are you gonna find an animator for that?
I am currently searching for them. It's a tough job to find somebody who is both cheap and talented. This concept artist, for example, I found him on Fiverr, and he was quite cheap. For example, he had minimum reviews, only about five reviews. He was drawing sketch art of people's pets, of people's dogs and cats, and I found him by chance. I actually also have another batch of concept art, which I'm not very happy with how it ended up. You guys want to see that?
Oh, can you explain what's happening with the I think it's this
The
the
tower
fifth
defense?
video where it's like on a grid?
Yeah, so the one with the grid, that's the tower defense levels. Every 10 levels, you get a tower defense level. And you can actually build a labyrinth in order to stop those liquidators from coming to you. And you can also build some towers, a fireball tower and a freeze tower.
Okay, and can the liquidators like go through them just really slowly or will they get stopped?
They will have to respect the labyrinth. I actually have another video here, but they will follow the labyrinth as you build it. Right, I see. And over there, that's the sound gallery with icons. You can test the sound effects if you click over there, and then when you click on each enemy, you go into a folder with each sound effect selection you can click on.
GM guys, Flame, I have a question for you. You planning to keep it 2D verse? I mean, like 2D graphics, or you planning to go to 3D?
I'm thinking of 2D and with a frontal perspective. Somebody corrected me a little while ago saying this isn't top down, it's frontal. Yeah.
All right. So the concept arts that you have been having and some people been drawing for you, you're not gonna use it in your game, or what's the plans for the arts that you have?
He already
I
said
am
that he's
going to
gonna
use the
find an
concept art
animator.
for the frontal. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna try to find an animator to animate my line art. And that's the difference between using AI art and human-made concept art. AI art is far too detailed and it's blurry. The way the AI works is when you stare at an image from far away and you try to make an idea of what that image at 200 meters away is going to look like, compared to human-made art that you can zoom in infinitely and it maintains every detail.
All right, cool. The question about gameplay, since you have final bosses and all of that stuff, so there is a end game. Um, what can you say about replayability? Like any plans for some, I don't know, events or something that you're gonna run to uh, incentivize the people to play it again and again?
Uh, I usually right now I'm gonna add more game modes for it. And from the way I made with the tower defense, I am able to make the tower defense into its own game right now. Even if it's gonna be a little a little bare bones right now. Since right now I focus more on the shooting elements. I added a lot more enemies and a lot more projectiles to try to make it a little more dynamic, a little more replayable.
All right, cool. Thanks for answers.
Musashi said that concept art fed into AI comes out pretty cool. Would you consider maybe trying, if you can't find an animator, trying to find like an AI tool that could handle that?
Depends what you're asking about the AI. For the concept art as an idea, it can kind of work. As an animator, it's still struggling. For example, take a look at this icon. I plan on actually using this as a game icon, which is going to be much smaller. So you can't focus on all the details for it. With this one, I can use this as a game icon, but I don't think I can use it as a logo or anything bigger without first going through the human logo concept maker. Yeah, so when I asked the AI to make it, I was thinking, what does my game need? What does defensive wave mean? There's a citadel in the background, there's a ghost, and there's a shooting element. So I added a gun. Right, so those are the three defining elements which I absolutely wanted in my logo. And I actually also tried to run my main menu through the AI, get an idea of what it looks like. I still wouldn't use this without first making it go through the draw artist, since it lacks some specific details. If you look closely, it gets a little blurry. Give me a second. Let's save it. Saved it as GIF instead of PNG.
I see like a bunch of uh JFIF files. Are they meant to go together?
No, that was the concept of the main menu, but I didn't convert it yet. Meanwhile, I'll actually show how the AI concept art came out to be. I actually took inspiration from Seabot's words. He helped me understand what constitutes a liquidator. Give me just 30 seconds to convert a few main menu concept art to show you. If the audience has any questions, I like to hear them.
I'm scanning the chat. I don't see any questions.
I'm almost finished converting.
Okay, that would be helpful because if I try to open the JFIF files, it won't unless I like use a browser, and I'd rather just stay in Discord while I'm recording.
Obviously. Right. So the AI is actually pretty decent at coming up with the idea, but it's not good as a final product, in my opinion. But let me know what you think.
Do you have any thoughts on the difference between using 2D and 3D art for your game?
Let's see, depends what you're asking about.
So like have you considered maybe a 3D format? It looks like it's for 2D it might be a little simpler cuz it's more like arcade style. Um if you were to do three some people are asking like if you would consider maybe 3D or not. I don't know.
Well, right now, my programmer was supposed to also come up with a feature for the animation where you can switch the graphics out. But right now it'll be only for 2D graphics. Right now it doesn't have a proper renderer for the 3D. I will consider switching for the 3D, but right now I was thinking of using 2D to go a little back because we don't have any 2D concept art, any 2D animations, any proper animations outside of what you can find on the Aavegotchi's website. Yeah, I could use the voxels for an alternate art style. I mean, there's also those 3D to 2D games like Donkey Kong, where they used almost 3D assets, similar to how the first Aavegotchi game in the Gotchiverse tried to convert 3D to 2D. Which wouldn't be a true 3D game as you convert each frame of the 3D into 2D. Right now, in order to have true 3D, I'd require a proper renderer so it doesn't lag. I don't know, when I conceptualized that, I was thinking of making a top-down game. And I think if there aren't any questions, I think we'll move on to the shielded voting.
Yeah, so I was just looking at the concept art for your main menus for your AI art. How would you plan on like making those with that art?
The idea behind it, because I'd like it to have that digital Tron aesthetic, how the Gotchiverse is, since these are digital ghosts. And I like there to be the Citadel, since it's called Defensive Wave and you're protecting the Citadel. I like it to have those elements of the Citadel, the ghosts, and the Liquidators. But as you can see, the AI doesn't know what a Liquidator is. Yeah, so I'd be using the background mostly as an idea and I'd ask my artist, this is the idea, I'd like you to draw this exactly. And I don't want it to be blurry.
Okay, yeah, sounds like there's still a lot to do with that project. Let's move on to the enabling shielded voting sig prop. Um,
Right.
so
Any
can you
possibilities?
tell us a little bit about why you proposed this idea?
So the way the snapshot works right now is that it shows the voters with the most influence, which can naturally influence other people. The whales can influence the shrimp to vote yes or no on certain things. I tested out my own proposals. Now, normally the DAO votes about 90% yes in favor, especially those who attend the hangout. But then we also have whales who don't attend the hangout and they usually vote no on these things.
So
Usually, yeah, you can get. Go on, go on.
do you think that people vote based on what they see the whales voting for, unless it's anonymous?
Definitely for that, because I also get influenced, and I consider myself a little more objective, and somehow I still get that subconscious thought of, oh, they voted yes 80% or they voted no 80%. I better go with the group. better go with a group mentality, since there's no more reason for me to voice my opinion if the majority already voted in favor of something, since I won't change anything.
And do you think a lot of people share that mindset? It seems a little bit speculative to me, but like when people go onto the snapshot to vote, they'll like look at the wallet addresses and the names of other people voting and then like specifically copy what they're voting for? Or do you think there's more to it than that? Because you said you tested the influence of that, but like I just want to know where that thought process is coming from.
Like, for example, I know one of the whales, and he himself told me he doesn't read the proposal, he just votes what he feels like, or he votes with the majority, or he looks a little over it and then yes or no. Let's go with yes. If the majority voted yes, let's go with yes. I mean, shielded voting is just going to fix the influence, but it's not gonna fix a person from not reading your proposal, since people don't usually have time to go through the proposal and read it.
Okay, and you wanted to test whether the comments worked during the voting
Yeah.
process. FaZe said in the chat that the commenting didn't seem to work on the test proposal. When he tried to add a comment, he didn't see the option for that. So is that going to influence whether the opinion should change on this proposal?
That's definitely gonna influence it, since it's gonna remove the comments, which is weird because I saw in different DAOs that you could still comment even with shielded voting. I'm not sure why it's not working here. Could then put it up and we to test it a little. I'm not sure why the comment section isn't working.
Okay, and a lot of people are voting. I see this one comment that says that it's useless. So just the point of this would just be to prevent people from copying other people's answers because they know who they are. Otherwise, because well, afterwards
Mhm.
it gets revealed. So the only reason behind it would just be to prevent like copying voting.
That's mostly the gist of it. Stop people looking over the neighbor's shoulder, because they usually don't do their own homework and want a review of someone else to judge by. They don't want to spend 20 minutes, 30 minutes reading the proposal, let alone going into the roadmap of each proposal and reading it.
Okay. Thank you for the explanation. And anyone who there's still plenty of time to vote on this. It ends on the 17th. Currently only 40% is in favor of this proposal, but I guess we'll see what happens.
Guess we'll see what happens.
One more thing to ask you about is in the forums you created one call it sorry about the dog barking, by the way. It's called Creating a Marketing Budget and Plan, and it's surrounding rarity farming, as far as I'm aware. I just wanted to ask you to summarize that a little bit.
Yeah, so for that one, I actually gave up on the idea of dedicating it only for rarity farming. I think like Piglet told me to not dedicate it for rarity farming. So I'm still going to market the project Aavegotchi in general. However, I was looking through CoinZilla a little, and they told me they can do DEX tools for some reason. So I'm gonna need a lot more discussion around that, but I was thinking of dedicating the marketing budget for the month of October, since that's historically when Bitcoin pumps. I'm not sure if that still holds true right now.
right. And yeah, so it would be a good thing for more people to know about rarity farming and about the events we have on here. So marketing is definitely important for that. And thank you for raising that question about budgeting and planning the marketing for rarity farming, as it's an important feature of Aavegotchi. And yeah, I think it's a pretty decent idea there in that forum.
I think so too.
You also suggested a bit of changes though in like the intro to that forum, I believe, like changes about rarity farming. Did you want to explain a little bit about that? What you think how rarity farming should change?
I think I only did the change for the marketing. Remind me again what I wrote. I think I also referenced the delta. Yeah, the delta rarity farming, which everybody doesn't seem to bring up anymore.
Okay, so there's like a few things in there. Let's see. Okay, so it is mostly about the funds, which is good.
I think, however, we should bring back the XP forms for the hangouts, especially during rarity farming. I'm not sure why we're not doing XP forms anymore.
How did the XP forms help out the rarity farming exactly?
Sorry, not the rarity farming, only during rarity farming to make it helped. XP forms usually help bring in more people during the hangout because they had to attend the hangout and click on the XP form. We used to have around 150 people in the audience.
Okay, yeah. So it would like incentivize people to come back to the hangouts that were already there. And then marketing is like the marketing is like a different it is related. It's just a different thing. Cuz it'll have to bring new people into the events and into the Discord. And yeah, good stuff to discuss about. And I believe that is it for everything. Thank you so much, Flame. Thank you for coming on and explaining stuff about the stuff you made. We should move on to give Zygo some space to talk about his updates on Ghostly Gladiator. Zygo? All right, you are invited to speak. Welcome. You have your mic muted.
Oh, there we go. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Great. Yeah, good morning, everybody. I just wanted to give a short little announcement here. I've been working hard on Grid Gladiator, formerly Ghostly Gladiator. I have a few little things to share and then an announcement for you guys. I'll be throwing a few little posts in the chat here.
Oh, cool. Yeah, you have a little photo there. And it says, play your cards carefully as you fight through a gauntlet of 10 battles, each with unique enemies. So are those, so I see one Liquidator on there, and then I see some other characters. Can you explain what those are?
Yeah,
Like,
they're all different types of liquidators. So there's 10 different types of liquidators so far.
oh,
But they all
okay.
have their own different like movement patterns and attack patterns.
Yeah, and different colors and stuff.
So yeah, the game is pretty much ready for testers. So there's still a week before the 6 weeks is over, but I think it's ready for testers to come in. And I'm going to drop the link here to the pitch.io page. Oops, that didn't work. Right here. And then I will also give you the link to the Grid Gladiator Discord. So if you have any feedback or bug reports, that's the place to send them in. And yeah, I'm excited to share it with you guys. I've been working hard and I'm pretty happy how it's turning out. So love to hear all your guys' feedback and comments. So yeah, that's it.
Awesome. Do you have any plans in the works for an XP event? Have you started to kick that off?
The XP event may or may not happen. I think I was just talking to Coder Dan, and he said that they're more appropriate for server-side games to be able to prevent from cheating and stuff. This is kind of a client-side game where there's no real way to prevent somebody from going into the JavaScript and changing things or cheating. It seemed like he wasn't willing to do an XP event for a client-side game, so I may try and come up with something else. I'm not quite sure about that yet. I just learned that this morning. So
Oh,
yeah,
interesting.
it works on mobile as well. So you can works on mobile or desktop.
Okay, that's cool. Do you think it would be possible to like make the game more secure somehow by developing like some other features to it to make it more
It's
secure?
never going to be like it's a client-side game. It's never going to be a server game, and it can't be if it's eventually going to release on Steam and mobile. That's just the nature of the game.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'm excited to check that out on itch.io. And let's see some people doing some testing. Awesome. Thank you, Zygo. And I believe that is all we have for today. I did want to mention that there is another Discord forum about Gotchi Battler open sourcing that's been pretty active. I'll link it right here. I'm not sure that like I can summarize what's going on in there in just a few words, but there's a lot of ideation and things going into Gotchi Battler right now. So check out that forum. It's pretty active as of late. But I believe that is all we have for today, unless anyone else wants to jump up and talk about anything. All right. Sounds like we are done for the day. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Zygo, Flame, Phase, Ace, No Future. It was great. And yeah. Yes, Coder Dan, stay tuned for next week's announcements.
Yep. Peace, everybody. See you next week.
Later, friends.